What's going on YouTube? This is your boy, Alex. Before we get into trading, stocks, the market, and everything, I did want to mention a few things. So now I did want to talk a little bit about this channel and that all the previous stuff that I've kind of made and all the videos and all the really cringe videos on my channel that you guys have watched. So those are all kind of gonna still be there, but from now on all the videos are gonna be stock trading, the market, and things like that. So it won't be a lot of random stuff that you guys have seen. So if you do want to watch some level 100 cringe content, make sure that you do go and watch the videos that I have made previously. The other thing that I do want to say is that this is kind of my first time making videos like this with, this lighting, the setup, try to make it a little bit more professional. So if there are actually like filmmakers or, people who actually know what they're doing when it comes to videos, if you guys do want to go ahead and, type in your constructive criticism, maybe some comments, some advice on how I can improve these videos so that they are more appealing to you guys, feel free and do that. I do not mind. Sure. Sorry about that interruption. My mom came in the room, needed something. All good. We are back. What I'm going to be trying to do is basically make a video every single week. I don't know if I'll be able to stick to that, but that's going to be the goal. I'm going to try to go over my P&L, or profit and loss, for those of you who don't know the slang or jargon of trading. The other thing we're going to go over is my trades, my strategies, things that I use, and if that's something that you guys want to do, feel free. I'm not saying that you should or shouldn't. That is a decision for you to make. The third thing that I do want to go over in these videos is kind of my market analysis and what the market's currently doing, how I feel about it, what I think I should be trading or should not be trading. Alright, boys and girls, let's get right to it. Let me whip out my cup of joe. Cheers, mates. So for this first video, it's going to be probably a little bit different because I do have a lot of ground to cover. I do want to talk about me as a trader and kind of what I've been going through up until this point, because I have not made any content previously. So you guys don't really know where I stand, how I trade, and things like that. So basically a little quick rundown of my trading career. I started back in 2018 at the end of November, and I've been trading full-time since. So for the first year, I spent about 10 to 17 hours a day in the Tim Sykes challenge, studying the content, watching the DVDs, doing the homework, having market experience, trading, and such. So I have put in an enormous amount of time into this. So I did spend about the first 9 or 10 months pretty much losing every single month. I was right at the end of every month. I did have green days here and there, some green weeks kind of scattered throughout. However, I was not profitable at all. It came to a point where pretty much I had no capital left to trade with. It was only a small amount, and I realized that if I was to continue, I would have to do something different. Now, as many of you traders out there know, 9 out of 10 people do fail, and trading is a very difficult career. And knowing that, I knew that I would have to do something that only 10% of the people, or 9 out of the 10 people, don't do. So throughout this whole time, I was mostly a long bias trader because I knew the danger of shorting, and I kind of watched short strategies on the side, on my watch list, kind of off in the back burner. Wasn't really going to trade it. And the other thing is that I didn't have a margin account. I had a cash account. Now, after about 10 months, I realized that I needed to do something different, and I decided that I wanted to short, or at least learn the strategies. Now, because shorting is so dangerous compared to going long, I knew that I would have to do something very strategic so that I would not blow up my account. So I basically decided that I was going to do this very mathematically and I was going to take and use statistics in every trade that I do or pattern that I trade to go into the market with. So I created spreadsheets under different types of patterns that I ended up tracking every single time that this pattern happened in the market, and that would give me a good idea of how often the pattern worked. And I was able to kind of make some of the money back that I have lost over the year, and I was able to finally gain some confidence and consistency in the market and finally understand how the market works. Now going into winter and January, the market had shifted pretty significantly. It became a long biased market, meaning that most of the stocks ended up spiking and going big. There was a lot of short squeezes, and some of which that I was actually caught in and did not caught my losses. And a lot of these trades that I took, which used to work back when the market was cold, did not work anymore. So that's why for the first half of the month of January, I was struggling quite a bit. A lot of the trades that I did take did not work anymore, and I had to find a different way of making money, or I would have to wait till the market cooled off again, which was not something that I wanted to do. Alright, now let's break down this month. I'll show you guys my P&L and some of the stocks that I traded, what I should or shouldn't have done, and we'll go from there. Now, I use Stock to Trade platform. I think this is a very great platform for penny stocks. However, it does glitch a lot, which is really annoying. It does crash and use a lot of data and a lot of bandwidth, which is, if you have a bad connection or your internet's slow, this is going to be very tough to use. However, it does have very good scanners that I really enjoy. Spreadsheet is my monthly P&L, as you can see here. Here are the days, and here are the P&L for each day. Like I was saying, I was struggling in the beginning of the month. So you can see I had a couple huge losses here in the beginning of the month. The first of which was AGTC on the 9th here for a $604 loss, as well as on the 16th on CNCA for $424 loss. Now, when I got it together in the second half of the month, as you can see, my two losses that I did have were much smaller than these previous ones, and my gains were a little bit bigger as well, and we'll go into those in just a second. Even with the big losses here at the beginning of the month, I was still able to come out with $1,144 for the end of the month, for the month of January. Daily 3-month chart of HETC, and as you can see, this big green candle here was the 9th on this huge gap, and this is when I had traded it. So this was the day that it gapped, and it spiked here in the morning, and then it kind of dropped pretty significantly below its opening. And so I thought that even though it did have a lot of volume, I thought that this little grind up was going to fail. And so I ended up taking an entry here into this bounce, and I was going to risk it off of this high of day. And what ended up happening is when I took this trade, I did not cut my loss here at high of day, and I ended up getting squeezed, and then every single pullback I thought it was going to be over, so I kept on holding. However, unfortunately, it kept squeezing higher and higher, and I still held on to my losses all the way up to $9. So it's basically in from, I think, under $7, and then I held it up until $9. So squeezed very hard and didn't cut my losses. It was very stressful. Now, if we look into my actual trade that I did, I usually keep track of every single trade that I've done, entries and exits, things that I should have done better. As you can see, $604 loss, entry at $6.88, and my exit at $8.70. And the percentage loss on this trade was 26%. Now that is absolutely ridiculous. Like, there is no possible reason why you should ever be down 26% on your investment. If you are, you're taking terrible risk reward. And as you can see, my entries were right here this low, then I ended up adding, and then I got out here. So in a sense, it may have not been the worst idea to short this bounce, thinking that it's going to fail at the end of the day and just, crack and fade. But what I did wrong was not cutting it here at high of day when it broke that. So that's my trade on AGTC. As you can see, a huge loss. Definitely make sure that you keep to your trade plan and execute on it, and don't hold and hope thinking that something is going to happen. This is SNCA, and this is the day that I traded it here on the 17th. And this is the daily 3-month chart, and the reason I decided to play this was because I was playing it off of the 6-month resistance here, which was about 40 million shares, and the top of this resistance was about 230. And so on the day that I ended up gapping, here's what it looked like. So let's go into the intraday minute chart. So this was the gap in pre-market, and I basically took a third entry, a starter position basically here pre-market on this bounce, and my plan was to add into a morning spike. And so it opened, it pulled back a little bit, and then it double bottomed here, and then started grinding back up. So what I did wrong here was what I should have realized, that this was a double bottom, and this was going to end up squeezing. And even though I saw this double bottom, I decided to add into this spike, and that was not part of my trade plan. My trade plan was to get in on a morning spike, which would have been right here at the open. If it spiked, then I would have gone in and hopefully for a pullback and crack. However, this pulled and then it bounced, came back, double bottomed, and then I started grinding back up. So I did not stick to my trade plan. I put in another entry here, and then what ended up happening was it just squeezed, it halted, squeezed again, consolidated, started coming back down. And the only good thing that it did on this trade was realize that I need to get out, because this is getting a lot of volume and this could keep on going. So I got out here on this pullback, and what do you know, if we zoom out, look what it kept on doing all day. Just kept on grinding up and up and up, all the way up to $4. Now my entry was $1.83, and my exit was $2.34. So again, a huge 27% loss. Again, unacceptable. Never ever be in a position where you're losing that much money on one single position. And the day volume was 80 million shares. So you need to realize when there's trading that much volume that you should not be short a stock like that, especially with 3 million float on 80 million volume. Now, even though, yes, it did come out with an offering at $4 and it completely dropped and went all the way back down, you can't just bet on an offering at the end of the day. Like, this happens very rarely, or not very rarely, but this happens rarely enough where you shouldn't be hoping for this to happen. So that was the bad trade on SNCA, not getting out and not sticking to my trade plan. Trade that I did have was an INNT. Here's a 3-month daily chart again, and this is the day that it played it right here on the 23rd. Now if we go into the intraday chart, let's look at the minute. Basically it started kind of grinding after hours the day before on the 22nd, and then pre-market here on the 23rd it squeezed pretty hard. Again, this is like no volume, so this is kind of almost meaningless. And ever since 5 in the morning all the way to 8 in the morning, it just kept going all the way down. So it went from basically 150 all the way down to 90 cents. And so this is such a hard pullback that I just know that most people are not going to want to trade it long, and so that this had a good chance of failing. So I ended up getting in short here at the open, and basically just riding it all the way down through this crack and fade. Now let's look. So my entry was $1.18 and my exit was at 98 cents for a gain of 16%. So I ended up only having a third position though, because I got in here with only a third, never really had any kind of bounce to add into. So even though it was a smaller position, it was still a good trade, and still stuck to my plan. So that's the most important thing. Alright guys, that was pretty much my month of January. Again, it was a struggle, and I had to think of new ways to trade. I had to figure out what I was doing wrong, and when that's happening, and especially when the market is shifting, it's very crucial that you kind of take a step back. Maybe don't trade for a couple days. Just take a step back and analyze the market, see why it's not working. Why are you failing? Why do you keep losing on trades? And when you kind of take a step back, and that's what I did, and I was like, wait a second, the market's hot. It's very dangerous to be shorting right now, especially on the first green day. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait until the stock spikes, and then I'll short it on the downside. And you know, shorting the first green day is obviously very dangerous. In a cold market, you can get away with it, which was what I was doing. And when I started doing that in a very hot market, I was getting crushed very, very hard. So shift your guys' focus in different markets to different strategies. So my goal for February 2020 is to make $3,000. I kind of broke that down, and that's going to be about $150 per day, which comes out to $750 on the week, which comes out to $3,000 per month. That seems something that's very doable. I trade in 2 accounts, so I have 6 day trades per week. So I have my bigger account, and then I have a smaller account, and with those trades combined, I'm able to take a trade every single day, and hopefully I'll be able to make that $150 per day. And I will try to be doing a video every single week recapping my good and bad trades or whatever happened. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be trying to make more videos on the weekly. Hit that notification button so that you know when my next video comes out. Hit that like button, write a comment. I know everybody says this, but it really does help to kind of push your videos out. And if you guys can kind of show me that love, if you guys did enjoy this, go ahead and do all those things. And let me know what you guys think, you know, with trading or with how to film, lighting, anything. You guys got some, let me know. Till next time, peace.